Alright guys, I'm back and this is my WWE Raw review for the 10th of the 3rd, 2014. I thought this Raw wasn't a bad show this week. I enjoyed Raw this week. Raw was a pretty good show. I enjoyed that Daniel Bryan segment. That D. Bryan segment, man, was a really good segment. The whole fans going into the ring, I thought that was a really good segment. The whole Hogan segment was a good segment. I didn't like when John Cena came out and kissed his I didn't like when Cena kissed Hogan's ass. That was kind of a bit weird. I liked the two Bray Wyatt promos they cut on John Cena, and also I liked how Hogan announced the match for WrestleMania. So we open up Raw this week with the Hulkster brother, and the Hulkster came out, dude, and he made a match at WrestleMania. Again, it was gonna be a 30-man over the top rope battle royal, brother, and it was for the memory of for Andre the Giant. So yeah, he announces the battle royal for WrestleMania, brother. Then John Cena comes out. He kisses Hogan's ass. He says that his favorite WrestleMania match was the one at WrestleMania 3 against him and Andre. Then Bray comes on. Then Bray comes down and he cuts a promo of Cena and Hogan and stuff. So the first match tonight is Cena versus Rowan. This was a short match. Cena rolls up Rowan for the win. Then we get a segment. Stephanie says that D. Bryan needs to apologize to the Authority tonight. Then the second match tonight was the Usos versus Ryback, the New Age Outlaws on commentary. One of the Usos dive on Ryback, then the other Uso hits a splash on Axel for the win. So it kind of looks like a WrestleMania program of the Usos versus New Age Outlaws at WrestleMania for the tag titles, which is this is a good way, because if you want the tag team division to mean something in WWE, you need to have your tag titles defended on a big show like a WrestleMania. Like a WrestleMania. So I'm glad that they're building up this tag feud, and I hope that they put like a fair four-way on for the tag team division. Maybe have the Usos defend against maybe Brotherhood, maybe the Shield if they're not gonna have a match at WrestleMania against each other, or maybe you can have them against the Real Americans possibly. But I think they're probably gonna feud against each other though. But like I said, yeah, the Usos won that match. Then we get a segment. Kane tells the Shield that they have a match against Brotherhood tonight. Then Dean Ambrose makes fun of Kane losing to D. Bryan twice. Then we get a segment. Heyman says that Taker has the greatest WrestleMania streak in history. Taker says that Brock will rest in peace. I thought this was a pretty good segment by Heyman. I like this Heyman and Taker segment. Taker, I would like to see Taker say some different things on the mic. I mean, Taker is a legend in WWE, and I don't want to just keep saying rest in peace. Like, say something like different, Taker. Like, say something like, oh well, Brock's my hardest opponent I faced. Yeah, whatever, something like that. Instead of just saying rest in peace. Like, that's all just the same stuff he said before. Like, say something different, Taker. Like, I know that you can say some different stuff on the mic. Like, you don't have to just say rest in peace. Like, come on, man. But I don't really get that. Then the fourth match tonight was Brotherhood versus the Shield. This was a really good match here. I actually did enjoy this match. Goldust hits a running senton off the apron onto Rollins. Then Cody hits a splash on Reigns. Then Reigns spears Goldust, and the two legal men are Cody and Rollins. Then Rollins hits a stomp on Cody for the win. So yeah, it kind of looks like that we're probably gonna have the Shield in a triple threat match. I don't know if this is probably gonna be. I don't know if the Shield are gonna be in a triple threat match at WrestleMania, or this is gonna be just them. I don't know if they're gonna have like a tag team match at WrestleMania, or they're gonna have like a triple threat match against each other, which I think they should do for the US title. because I think we should have Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the US title at WrestleMania, because if you have that as your undercard match for the US title, at least it made the US title actually mean something, and then you put on, I mean, this feud has had some good build, because you know the Shield have been together for a year, and you know they've been like brothers and stuff like that. So yeah, that could have a pretty good story. Then the fifth match tonight was the Bellas versus AJ and Tamina. Natalya was on commentary. One of the Bellas hit Torture Rep for the win. Then we get a segment. D. Bryan comes out. This was a fucking awesome segment, man. I enjoyed this segment. One of my best segments of the entire night. D. Bryan vs. Triple H. This is where the show picks up. I mean, the show was really good, but I'm glad that, I know the Divas match was kind of a sleeper kind of thing, but this is what Raw picked back up again, in my opinion. And so D. Bryan comes out and says that D. Bryan says that he's going to kick Triple H's. D. Bryan says he's going to kick Triple H. He says he's going to. D. Bryan says he's going to kick Triple H. I'm stumbling. D. Bryan says that he's going to kick Triple H's face off at WrestleMania. Then Triple H comes out. He says that the fans should get out of the ring. He calls out the security guards to get them out of the ring. Then they just like walk off and stuff. Then he calls out Sandow for some weird reason. He tells Sandow to get rid of the fans. He says no, I'm not going in there. Then Triple H accepts D. Bryan's match. Then Stephanie starts yelling, says, "Oh, I made you, the WWE made you," and stuff. And then Stephanie goes off on the fans saying that D. Bryan's going to turn on you, stuff like that. Then D. Bryan says if he beats Triple H at WrestleMania, then D. Bryan should be added to the WWE World Title match. This is what the fans want to see. D. Bryan in the WWE World Title picture, and you know, I think this is pretty good. I mean, you want D. Bryan to have that, because this man. I mean, this kind of reminds me of a certain Lord Voldemort. If you guys remember at WrestleMania 20, when Triple H and Lord Voldemort had a feud at WrestleMania 20, where people thought that Lord Voldemort weren't going to win the world title when he did. So this kind of reminds me of kind of that, but better. But yeah, like I said, but I think if you made a segment really, really awesome, which it was awesome, but awesomer. Is that a word? I just make word up. Anyway, if this was awesomer, you could have, you know, had the entire crowd just like stood around the arena and stuff. Like got out the seats and I kind of like Raw totally empty and had to like the fans like surround the ring and stuff. That would have been pretty awesome. Then the sixth match of the night was a Memphis Street Fight of Sheamus versus Christian. This was a pretty good match. Sheamus and Christian, they had a pretty good match. Christian hits a tornado DT off the stage. Then Sheamus, and then Christian hits a cane. Then Sheamus hits a guitar on Christian's shoulder, I think it was. Then Christian gets a drum. Then he gets broke it through the drum. Then Christian gets broke it by Sheamus. So Sheamus gets a win. What is it with WWE? Can Christian please get a clean win over Sheamus at Raw, please? Can we stop burying Christian? We'll stop burying him in this feud, please. Let Christian get one win in this feud. Well, like I said, Sheamus got a win. Then break us another promo on Cena. Then the sixth match of the night was D. Bryan and Big Show versus Batista and Randy Orton. This was a real good match. I enjoyed this. D. Bryan hits a high knee on Batista. Then Big Show comes in, hits a chop on Batista and Orton's chest. Then D. Bryan hits a high knee on Orton for the win. So yeah, and then we do D. Bryan and he's doing the yes giant thing. So yeah, so that's how I ended Raw this week. So that was so I thought Raw this week was awesome. I thought a couple of things that we didn't really need, like the Divas match, that was unnecessary. The Sheamus Christian match was really good. I enjoyed that match. The main event tag match was you know, that was a pretty good match. What else was a good match on here? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, the Brotherhood versus the Shield match was a real good match as well. So yeah, I enjoyed that match as well. So yeah, so that was my review. So that was my WWE Raw review for the 10th of the 3rd, 2014. What do you guys think about the show? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching, guys. Brag out.